Hello everybody. So the Australia's budget has been announced, and along with that the migration program for the year 24-25 has also been announced. Now, what are the key takeaways, or let's say what does this budget announcement or the migration program announcement mean for offshore migrants in particular and we Indians? Let's talk about that. So first of all, the great news is that the migration program has been set at 150,000 places this year. Last year, for the year 23-24, it was set at 190,000. So there's a slight decrease of just 5,000 places, but majority of the program, that is about 70% of this migration program, has been allocated to the skilled stream. About 70% would be 132,000 places for the skilled stream, which includes subclass 189, subclass 190 and subclass 491. Now the figures for the quota allocation for these three major subclasses are also open now. Now we have with us some stunning figures in which we see a huge reduction for the number of places for subclass 189 visa. That is, it has gone down from 30,375 places as compared to 2023-24 to just 16,900 places. That is for the year 24-25. So clearly we can see that the Australian immigration authorities are more inclined to promote state nominated and regional sponsored visas instead of the skilled independent 189 visa. The allocation for this year for subclass 190 was in the year 23-24, it was 30,400 and it has been taken up to 33,000 this year. So there has been an increase in the places or quota for the subclass 190. And for the subclass 491, we see another increase from 32,300 places in 23-24 to 33,000 places in 24-25. Now these figures, this quota, this migration program will come into effect on the 1st of July this year, 2024, when the migration program for Australia starts. Now with this, what has also been announced is that the net migration is going to be halved in this year, that is 2024-25. Now I'd like to quickly discuss this in a little bit of detail. So a lot of clients, a lot of viewers are kind of confused. They find it a little contradictory that on one hand we say that it's real good news that 70% of the skilled migration, migration planning places have been allocated to skilled migration. On the other hand, we're saying that Australia is looking at reducing the net migration to half. So first of all, I need you to understand that the migration program is a separate thing. The net migration is a separate thing. Do not confuse net migration with the migration program just because the word migration is there. What is net migration? So net migration is basically the number of people entering Australia and the number of people leaving Australia. Now let's say somebody goes to Australia on a 189, 190 or a 491 subclass. Obviously their purpose is to settle down in Australia. So the government doesn't really expect them to leave Australia. So when they are planning their migration program, they are factoring in that these are the number of people who are expected to stay in Australia and contribute to its economy and growth. However, when we talk about students or temporary workers, they are expected to come to Australia for a certain period, whatever is required for the student visa or work rights, and then after completion of their period, they're expected to go back. However, those are the people who are not going back. Therefore, their staying on in Australia has led to a housing crisis that has swelled up the migration numbers, because those are the people who are also applying to stay in Australia for longer or permanently. Therefore, the Australian Immigration Department is determined to ensure that this year, the applicants, such as the students or temporary workers who had stayed on in Australia, leave the country. Therefore, from the year 23-24, where the net migration was 395,000, they expect to bring it down to 260,000 for the year 24-25. Now, this will be achieved through some measures which are already being put in place, such as student caps, such as some stringent requirements for temporary entrance, and so on. Now, talking of temporary workers, the 482 visa, that is the TSS visa, has got a big relief for a lot of applicants, because the work experience requirement for this visa have been reduced from 2 years to 1 year. Now, let's talk about the benefits during the budget announcement that concern specifically India, or that have been specifically extended to the Indian citizens. And the first one we're going to talk about is the Maid Program. So I did share in one of my previous videos that Australia and India had signed a treaty wherein young graduates, recent graduates between the age 18 to 30 can go to Australia on a work visa, live and work there. And the date for receiving the applications for this visa has now been announced. So this visa will be opening on the 1st of November. There will be an initial charge, a pre-application charge of $25, followed by a visa application charge of $365 dollars for applicants who are selected to apply for their visa. Now, this visa will be very, very beneficial for a lot of applicants whose sole purpose was always to actually go and work in Australia, but had to go to Australia through a backdoor entry through the student visa, which of course I never recommended applicants to do. So now you can directly go on a work visa to Australia. Now, another very interesting thing is that the working holiday maker visa for Australia never had India listed there, but now for the migration year 24-25, there will be a capped working holiday maker visa for China, Vietnam, and India. Now, China and Vietnam were already one of the eligible countries for the working holiday maker visa for Australia. However, India is a country that is going to be added to this list. So that is absolutely fantastic news for Indians. So now, with the migration plan being rolled out, the quotas for the subclasses 189, 190 and 491 being allocated, we expect the states to get their very, very fair share and a much outstanding share of nominations and allocations by the Department of Home Affairs in the month of July. And we do expect the nominations, the state nominations, invitations, or even direct applications, who knows, to begin in the month of July. So make sure you have your skills assessments absolutely ready. You do not have enough time. If you've not started the process yet, please go through the priority processing, because we are just about a month and a half, little less than a month and a half away from the 1st of July, and you do want to make the most of the nomination invitations that will be rolled out in the month of July. So stay tuned for more news. Until next time, bye-bye and take care.